So I think it's going as I had hoped, which is slowly and thoughtfully. And, you know, I look around, I haven't been traveling very much, so Minister Dix can comment on Vancouver, but, you know, certainly around here in Victoria, people are doing the right thing. They're taking their time, they're making sure they have what they need in place. We're building up confidence slowly, and it's mostly been a very positive thing in what I have seen. And I certainly have tried to experience it myself and support some of, particularly the local restaurants that have been keeping me in takeout for the last few months. And I did have a lovely dinner on the patio on Friday night, so I was really pleased about that. So I think people are doing the right thing. They're doing it in a very thoughtful and measured way. And what I've been seeing, I think it's just the right pace.
I think where I live, certainly where I live in the Joyce Collingwood neighborhood of Vancouver, I think people have done extraordinarily well. They've been very supportive of one another, understanding of one another. So we've seen this in our local parks and everywhere else. I think people understanding the need to physically distance, but also to get outside. And so I don't think in the last few weeks I've ever seen as many people walking outside. And I had the opportunity to do it. And all I can say is that people at least in our neighborhood, have been very thoughtful and very caring to one another. And so I want to thank in particular a young boy who did an impromptu concert for me a couple of weeks ago. As we went by, the family recognized him. We came up to their window and they gave a concert. So I think what we're seeing is, and what we continue to see in Joyce Collingwood, especially in my neighborhood, which I see, a lot of understanding and a lot of caring. Mostly, it should be said, Keith, I've mainly been going to grocery stores and to bakeries and to fruit and vegetable stores so far, but that's actually probably my ordinary consumer pattern, so I don't think there's a lot of change in that. But I think we are seeing an opening up, but a real caution that people are showing. But what impresses me at 7 o'clock when we hear people making noise for healthcare workers and for other frontline workers, and around the rest of the times as well, a real genuine sense of support, mutual respect, and I am impressed in the overall. There's always focus on what happens when things don't happen, but what we're seeing is, I think, a fundamental understanding that we are in a pandemic. And people continue and rightfully understand we're in a pandemic. And I think the generosity they're showing to one another is heartening to me, and I think it should be heartening to everybody.
Sandy Hall, CFX 107. Oh, sorry.
I've been wearing my non-medical mask in certain occasions, and there's a small grocery store in my neighborhood, and the aisles are quite narrow, so I'm sure that I wear it when I'm in there just to make sure that I'm doing my bit to keep my droplets in as well.